Reality. What is reality and why does it matter? Talking about reality, I'm trying a new reality, a new place here. And London has amazing weather, as you can see right now. Not every day, but it's much better than most people think. Anyway, why does it matter? What is reality? Actually, we think about reality as something absolute, something that is the same for everyone and that is kind of like, you can measure it, etc. But in reality, no pun intended, the reality is that it is not absolute. Actually, the reality is your reality, and that actually explains so many of the frictions and issues we see in the world that you see in your personal relationships, etc. Because how you look at something, let me actually give you a powerful example. When I did my neurolinguistic programming coaching course a couple of years back, we did an exercise where our teacher put us in all the different. We did an MBA Myers-Briggs personality type indicator personality test, and she organized people into different groups according to. Well, actually, she put different people into the same group, and they had to solve a problem. And the problem was that they had just created a competition, and it was about offering like poor Americans, school children, a trip. Obviously, this is a fictive story, but it's just interesting. A trip to, they have never traveled, and so it's a trip to somewhere, like let's say to another country. And but the problem is that the prize giver just offered to allow 20 children. They had to do a challenge. Sorry, it's a long time ago. They had to do a challenge, meaning they had to lose weight. And so whoever kind of did well was invited, and that was kind of the award. So all the children did well in their own ways. The problem was the prize giver only allowed 20 of the 25 children to come. What do you do? And it's really interesting how different people solve this problem completely different. If you're very compassionate and empathetic, there was one woman, she started crying because she said, no, we have to bring every child. And if we cannot bring every child, let's cancel the whole trip. Actually, the other side part of that was that it was important to do the trip because it would have given publicity to the circumstances of these children, which would then receive donation. So canceling the trip had its own issues. Another person in the group would say, like, I don't know, everybody has to write an essay why they should go, and then we pick the best essays. That's obviously one way of dealing it, but we're probably leaving some of the children, traumatized in a way for life by just not letting them take. So the best solution, actually there is no perfect solution, but probably the best solution, interestingly, came from a woman with a Muslim background, so that has experienced kind of repression in her own circumstances, and she proposed that it should only be, let's say 10 children should go, and they should represent the whole group of the 25. Like that, the majority stays behind, so no one feels left behind, and 10 children use that opportunity to kind of portray the case for these people. So anyway, coming back to the topic, so it just shows that none of these people had like bad intention. They just come from very different places based on their life circumstances. So whatever your reality, if you think about political life, business, all the things, conversations with friends and your relationship, your reality is just one reality. And the interesting thing is you can also change your reality. It's not just about, I'm not pointing out that it's different and different people look at things differently, but also you can change your reality. If you don't like your reality, you can just change it. Like if whenever you engage with someone or something, you have a negative experience, you can just change that experience. You can change your approach, how you look at things, realizing also that that person comes from a different place, and that's why they're reacting and behaving in a certain way. It is really something very malleable. That's what I'm trying to get to, reality. Like you think of it as this absolute because your current mindset reflects a certain worldview, a certain view of your identity, who you are, what you're good at, what you're not good at. But all of these things are just concepts of the mind, and it's completely up to you to take control of those rather than letting them kind of dictate your life and how it plays out and how you feel about yourself. And on an even more abstract but I think equally important, like philosophy, everything is kind of very practical. People think of this as kind of this stuff out there that is not relevant, but it's actually highly relevant. Um, you know, generally how reality is constructed, if you think about it, irrespective of like individual differences, we're basically having our senses, right? For example, my eyes, I'm seeing myself right now, you see me. And so basically this is just waves hitting our retinas, and then, you know, through the eyes, it goes to the brain, and then the brain constructs this 3D reality. But there is no color green in the world. Like, we perceive this as green. That wavelength is interpreted as green, and we call it green, and it looks green to us. I'm looking at trees here. Yeah, my view is better than yours. You get the sun, a little bit of the sun, but not the view. Actually, let me show you quickly. It's actually really beautiful. Anyway, back to reality, or what it could or is not. So, and not just that, right? Kind of, I moved to this space, and it's three-dimensional, and so this is the mind constructs this three-dimensional reality. It's it's just light waves hitting our pupils, and then the retina, etc. And the same thing when I feel something on my fingers. You know, everything is in sync, right? I look at it and I feel it, but again, it's just the mind creates. Like, I don't actually know what's out there because I only have the 5 senses plus intuition. And that's it. That's my interface with the world. And so my mind constructs something, and you can see that when you have optical illusions, or when when you're looking for something and it's plain, it's in front of your eyes, but you don't see it. It's your mind basically creates a reality. And that is your version of reality. So now I've taken it a really abstract level, but basically why this is relevant, it also filters down to kind of just how you feel about everything. Like everything, your state of mind, how you look at things, how you feel at things, how you see them, both like physically, but also emotionally. You know, when you look at a tree, for some people it might be something beautiful, some people might not notice it, and some people might want to get rid of it because they want to build a building there. So again, it's not just how we perceive things that are constructed, but also what we attach, what context we attach to them. And so however you feel right now about yourself, about your life, etc., you can just change it. That's the most incredible thing. It's just, we think this is all set, but it's not. It's just how you decide to see it, and most people just don't take agency of it. They just are reactive to life, reactive to the construction of the mind, reactive to their inner monkey talking them. But you can switch. The mind is a powerful device, but it can overpower you and take control of your life, or you can turn it around and you control the mind and you say, wow, this is actually all amazing and great, and in turn it will become amazing and great. And now you can say, oh, you're just brainwashing yourself, it's this kind of false positive, everything is great. I'm not talking about that. You can also create a terrible, horrible world for yourself if you wanted to. It's really a choice. What I'm saying is you have a choice. You have full agency over how you perceive and look at life. And so this is not brainwashing, because basically your mind is brainwashing you in a way. It shows you a certain reality, but that's just one version. There is no absolute version. There is no right version. There's just the version you currently perceive, and then the version you want to construct and take control of. And that's really, for me, that's one of the most incredible insights I've gained. And once you fully embrace that and you explore that, you realize, like, yeah, you can take control of your thoughts, you can control about what you feel, how you feel about people, how you feel about your life, and that then in turn creates change in your life. And once you make use of that tool, of that power that you have, life will never be the same again. Have a wonderful evening, and if you enjoyed this video, on my website vincenterani.com there's an overview of all the videos, or you go on IGTV or Facebook. I talk about something new every day. If you want me to talk about something, please let me know, and make this an incredible day, and speak to you soon.